So let's go ahead and create our financial officer as a real user of the system. And again, the system knows that that email is associated to that temporary officer and replaces that temporary officer with this new user. And so I see the new project grant application show up. I can accept. And now the grant application has been converted into a brand new project. And I'll see no longer my grant application here, but a project show up here. Under the grant applications menu, I can still view my old grant application under all my grants applications. And this will show me a read-only historical view of that grant application. Furthermore, if I clicked on my project itself, the project information tab is presented where I can be linked directly to that GPA that this project was built on top of. So at this point I'll explain what we'll see as a new project, both from the user's perspective and an administrator's perspective. So the project information tab is the default tab that comes up, and here it's going to show us the project's start and end dates and the implementing and applicant agency. The roles tab will show us who's assigned as the director, financial officer, and writer. Now I'm logged on as the financial officer, but if I log out and come back as the actual director, I'll be given the opportunity on the roles tab to actually remove users from their roles and to assign other users as the financial officer or writers. These users selectable to fulfill a role come from the agencies that they're associated with. So the project director and financial officer are both associated with the agency Idaho State Police, and that's where they're showing up here. If there was other users in the system associated to Idaho State Police, they would also show up in this list. The project cycle tab is where all of the action happens, and we'll come back to that in just a second. The attachment tab allows you to upload arbitrary electronic documents for the project. Currently we accept PDF and image documents, but we could foreseeably open that up to any type of document needed. One thing to note is that as a user you can upload documentation, but there's no ability to remove. Usually there's a remove link here if you're an administrator. Only administrators are given the ability to remove uploaded documentation. So if I logged out and came back as an admin and I found that project, new project, I would see on the attachment tabs the test file, and I could remove that file. You also see that as an administrator I see the Navision tab and a PG&R Notes tab. The Navision tab allows you to drill down into project cycles and find reports that are exportable into Navision. So for example, if there was an expense report here, I could select it and click Generate Export Files to create an XML export file that could then be imported into Navision. PG&R Notes allows you to create private notes that only PG&R staff can view. And I should note that these helpful reminders really go a long ways to help document the purpose of each screen, so this is something to be aware of on a lot of the pages. That there's pretty good helpful reminders. We'll log back in as the director and look at the Project Cycles tab. Here's where you'll select the project cycle that you're interested in. In this case we only have one. The default page here shows you the cycle start dates and the budget associated with the cycle. The Drawdowns tab allows you to request money from the available funds. The goals, these are the same goals that we defined in the project application. They're transferred over. Financial reports, for example, an income report. Say we've generated $50 on interest. We can save that. But note that only a financial officer is able to submit this report to PG&R. So I'll go ahead and log out and show you this process, since it's pretty similar workflow. The reports are across the board, all the financial reports and the progress report. We see that saved report. We can now submit that report, at which point it will show up for PG&R to act upon in their work queue. They can approve or disapprove. We'll go ahead and approve it. The history is maintained here for when the report was submitted and approved. Project reports. There's only one, the progress reports. And adjustments allows you to file for various adjustments for the project. Now let me log out and show you that income report that we filled out, how that shows up for an administrator with its interfacing with Navision. We see here that we're given an opportunity to export these files into Navision, so we can click on Download Selected Export Files, and we'll see the XML generated that will be importable into Navision. Now if we refresh this page, we'll see that it's been exported, and we can clear all exported items. So that's kind of a quick way to create an XML export for all of the documents that need to be exported for Navision. Now we can still look at that project's Navision tab itself and export individual files on an as-need basis. This will bring up the same XML document.